What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex Go Breezy, and yes, today I will be giving y'all that video that y'all been waiting for. I will be explaining all the perks in the game, and I will be rating them all out of 5 stars. So like 1, well 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and 5. And make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on that bell for post notifications when I post a new video or when I go live. And we out. Well, y'all, here we are. This video is gonna definitely be long, and if it's not long, it's probably gonna be at least 15 minutes or longer. And yeah, so I'm gonna be doing on my Fingman because you know I'm a Fingman main. There's 2 perks I don't have on her, so I'm gonna just go to the actual perk and rate them when I don't have. Well, I mean when I get to the ones that I don't have, or when I finish all these, because there's 2 perks I don't have on Fingman. But besides that, I have all the perks in the game on Fingman. So first badge, perk up, adrenaline. This is a really good perk, you know what I'm saying? If you're hurt or if you're healed, you still get a sprint burst boost for 5 seconds at the end of the game, and you get instantly healed. So if you're like trying to finish the last gen and the killer's like right behind you and you get it, you'll get healed right after it hits you. So I'll rate this like a good 4. I'll rate it a 4 simply because it might sometimes not be the best. It might be useful sometimes. Okay, aftercare. Well, I like rarely run this perk. It's not that bad. If you aren't good at looping, or your teammates are, and they die like very quickly, then this perk is gonna be useless. It's not gonna be that good. But if you have if you have good teammates that don't die very quickly to killers, then this is a good perk to use. So I'll give this like a give this a 3, right in the middle. Alert. Now, this is a very underrated perk, because this is a good perk because you can see the killer even when he's not near you. He could be on the other side of the map, anywhere, kicking a gen, breaking a pallet, anything like that. So, and you get to see him for 5 seconds. So I'll rate this perk a good 4.5 because it's a very good perk for reading. Autodidact. Y'all know I definitely love this perk. One of my favorite perks in the game. So, you know what I'm saying, get 5 tokens, you heal them mad quickly. But sometimes, you know, Dead by Daylight doesn't love to give you skill checks, and you end up having like 1 stack at the end of the game. But if you go against a killer that's like slugging with using Sloppy Butcher, Thanatophobia, Nurse is Calling, or what's the other one called? Colorophobia, then this would be a good perk to use for that, because you can kind of counter their perks. So I'll give this a 4.5 too. Boil over. This perk is decent, because you know what I'm saying, sometimes you get killed. There's a lot of times where you get killed near a hook, or like where the killer's gonna make it regardless of this perk. But if you run this perk and your teammate has breakout, you might end up getting out. You know what I'm saying? 75% increase. And the killer can't see hooks within 14 meters. So I'll rate this perk a 3. Ball time. Y'all know I run this all day long. So this is definitely a top 3 perk in the game. You know what I'm saying? If you have to farm somebody, or you just have to give somebody for deliverance, this is the perk. So you could farm people without any bad things happening. You know what I'm saying? They get 15 seconds, endurance 15 seconds, and they need to mend themselves in 20 seconds. So I don't even know if that mending in 20 seconds is real, but yeah. So you can really farm people. They get their endurance effect. They can take an extra hit. You can probably be healed, and y'all both are good. But the one thing with this perk is, if you're getting camped with a killer with Insidious, or a killer that has no terror radius, and you're just sitting there, then this perk is going to be countered, because this perk only works when you unhook somebody and the killer's terror radius. So I'm going to give this perk definitely a 5 out of 5. I don't care. Botany knowledge. Botany knowledge? I haven't used this perk in a long time. Now, when I used Claudette, I didn't use this perk. Now I don't use this perk. I never really use this perk like that. I don't think I've ever used it but like 4 times because of challenges. But healing speed and healing item efficiency are increased by 30%. To be honest, I don't really like this perk. It doesn't really do much for you. There's way more perks you can use that can help you way more than this. This perk overall, it just isn't that good, and I'm gonna give it like a fucking a 1.5, because 33% isn't that amazing. Breakout. Now y'all know I love me doing some breakout saves. I know this is probably a top 10 perk in the game for me. I don't know about y'all, but for me, if you're in 6 meters of survivor getting carried by the killer, you have a 7% haste, so you can like not get hit. You can run around, and their wiggle speed is increased by 20%. So if you're doing a breakout save, you can easily get to the hook, sabotage it by using saboteur or bringing toolbox, and you can use metal man and take some hits. Simple as that. So I'm giving this perk a 4.5 simply because I like it and I use it all the time. Buckle up. Unlocks potential on one's aura reading ability. The recovery progress of dying survivors can be determined by the intensity of their auras at a distance of up to 48 meters. When you heal a survivor from the dying state to injured, both the healed survivor and yourself see the killer aura for 6 seconds. Buckle up. I don't really use this perk either. My friend does. I don't really use it. It doesn't really seem like it's that good. It's definitely some perks you could use that are way better than this. I recommend you don't run this. But saying the killer's aura for 6 seconds is pretty good. But I wouldn't recommend using this perk. I'm gonna give this a 2.5. Now, built to last. New perk that just came out with the new survivor. Felix, Richard, if y'all didn't know. I think his last name is Richard, but Felix, new survivor. Built to last. Once per trial, a depleted item, which means an item that has no more charges left in it, will gain 50% of its charges after 10 seconds. This perk is definitely good with any item, because if you run out of charge of any item, you can get 50% of it back. So, if you bring a flashlight, a purple flashlight, with the green second add-on, like 6-second add-on, and a 4-second add-on, the 2 batteries, and that's 22 seconds overall. So, you use the 22 seconds of the whole flashlight, you get 50% of it back. So, you basically have 33 seconds on your flashlight. So, this perk is definitely really good for all items. So, I'm going to give this perk a 4. Calm Spirit. Now, at first, like a good year ago, I did not understand this perk at all. I just started to get it like months ago. But this perk it's okay. I mean, it helps you definitely against a doctor, so you don't scream out loud, and you don't scare crows away, even if you're running or anything like that. So that can help you in games a lot. So I'll give this perk a good I'll give this perk a 4. Camaraderie, or camaraderie, whichever one it is. If you're on the hook, because people don't get this perk, if you're on the hook, you have to be on the hook, not the survivor. You have to be on the hook. If anybody is 16 meters within you, you get, and you're in the struggle phase, you get 34 seconds of the hook timer being paused. For 34 seconds, which is actually really good for people to get gen work, for people to open the doors, or for people to think about a plan about how they're going to get you or anything like that. But there still are good perks that are better than this that you could use that might help you more. And plus, it's not guaranteed that you're going to be getting camped all the time. Yeah. So, I'll give this perk a good 3.5, simply because it can actually help a lot. Sometimes, well, no, I'll give it a 3, because, yeah. Dance with me, I used to use this perk all the time. I haven't used it in a while, but this is still a good perk. You know, when you fast vault, or you leave a locker, if you fast, like, leave a locker, and a sprint. You leave no scratch marks for 3 seconds. So this would be good with quick and quiet, life, anything of that nature. And it has a cooldown of 40 seconds. So this is a really good perk. Simply because no scratch marks for 3 seconds. You can make plays with this perk and everything. I'll give this perk a good 3.5 or 4, one of them. Dark Sense. Now I used to run this and Kindred all the time. I don't really use them anymore, especially this. But Dark Sense is actually not a bad perk. Seeing the killer's aura for 5 seconds after every gen is really good. And then after the last generator, you get to see him for 10 seconds. So this perk's not bad because you can see the killer's aura, obviously. So I'll give this perk a 3.5 just because there's simply better perks out there you can use. Dead Hard. Now, if you watch my streams, you know this perk doesn't like to work for me, but it's still a really good perk. So when you're running, you're hurt. Killer's behind you. He's about to swing. You can press X. Whatever your active ability button is, while you're running and you're hurt, to get a little dash. You know what I'm saying? And he can't hit you unless you do it too early or too late. And you get the exhausted status effect for 40 seconds. Now, this perk is definitely a 4. I would make it higher, but sometimes it doesn't work, and it's really easy to counter in the game, because if a killer sees you dead hard one time, they're probably going to know and remember that you have dead hard for the rest of the game, and it's easy to counter. So I'm going to give this perk a 4. Decisive Strike. Everybody knows about Decisive Strike. This is definitely the best perk in the game. This and Unbreakable. It's definitely the best perks in the game. Decisive Strike is a 5 off rip. Now, after you get off a hook for 60 seconds, you have 60 seconds to get downed and picked up to use this perk. So if you're getting camped or anything like that, or if you're not in the killer and you get hooked by a survivor and the killer comes back to the hook and it goes for you, you get tunneled or you get camped, something like that, and he hits you down and he doesn't know you have decisive, he can pick you up. You can stun him for 5 seconds if you hit the skill check. The skill check is not hard to hit at all, guys. It's pretty easy to hit as a skill check. So yeah, this is definitely a 5, best perk in the game. Deja Vu. I've used this perk one time in my life, and it was because of a challenge. What does this perk even do? The order of 3 generators which are close in proximity to one another are ready for 6 seconds. They start of the match, and each time a generator completed, if you are holding a map for generators. Okay. Well, this perk is definitely not that good, but it's not trash. Not all the way trash. You get to see generators. It kind of depends, because there's some maps where you can easily find generators, and there's some maps where it's hard to find generators. But it says at the start of the match, so doesn't seem like it's the best. So I'll give this perk like a 2. Deliverance. This is definitely a good perk. Definitely a good perk. Now, if the killer finds you first and you get downed and hooked, then you can't do anything. But if one of your teammates gets down and hooked first, instead of you, you can get the save, farm them or anything. Then when you get put on the hook, you can Kobe and get off in one try, 100% chance. And you have the broken status effect for 6 seconds, depending on what tier you have the perk on. So this perk is definitely good. I'll give this perk, I give this perk like a 4.5, just because if you get put on the hook, they can focus on gens. Them 3 can be doing gens while you can get yourself off the hook in one try. Desperate Measures. You refuse to fall. For each injured hook, dying survivor increase the speed of your healing and the hook action. Honestly, I don't like this perk. I feel like you should just use leader or prove thyself instead of this perk, because it's just way better. It's not really a big 14%, not really that big of a help. I suggest you use What did I just say? Leader, the other one, the other Dwight perk, instead of this one, 14%. And somebody has to be injured, hooked, or dying. Yeah, that's not it. This perk's, I'll give this perk like a 2. Detective's Hunch. Now, this perk isn't bad. I actually kind of like this perk. Because you, in 64 meters, which is really big, you get to see chests, generators, totems, yeah, and all that good stuff for 10 seconds in 64 meters. So, if the killer has like a ruin or something like that, or just any hex totem, or if he has no ed, you get to easily see it by just completing a generator. And you don't even have to do the gen. Your teammates can do a gen, you can do a gen, it doesn't matter. You just get to see it for 10 seconds. So I'll give this perk a 4, because it's actually not bad. Underrated. Now Distortion. This perk, you get to see, I mean, you if the killer has like a perk for auras where you can see you if you do something like Nurse is Calling, or he had Barbecue and Chili. Each time the killer has a perk like that or something, even an add-on where he's supposed to see you if you do something or if you're in a certain position, you have 10 seconds. You have 3 tokens. You have 3 tokens, and each token you have, if he has a something that's supposed to be seeing you with his aura, you don't get seen for the next 10 seconds. So like Barbecue and Chili, that lasts 4 seconds. So it will take 4 seconds. It goes all 10 seconds every time you use a token, but you won't be able to get seen by Barbecue and Chili. Nurse is Calling, you won't be able to be seen by it, or unless you're nowhere near finishing the heal. And other perks like that. So this perk, I used to run it a lot, but I found out that it's not really that good because it's easy to lose the 3 tokens. Like, they run out very fast. And yeah, so I'll give this perk a 3 simply because you lose the token so fast in the game. Fixated. Fixated. I usually run this perk when I run Sprint Burst. It's really a good duo, Sprint Burst and Fixated. Oh damn, it just invited me to a party. Sprint Burst and Fixated is a good duo. I run it all the time. It's a pretty good perk. It's decent. If you don't run it with Sprint Burst, it's like kind of useless. Because like walking 20% faster with no Sprint Burst, there's not a need. You'd rather just use Urban Evasion. So, and you see your scratch marks at all time, and you walk 20% faster when you're uninjured. So if you're injured, it does nothing for you besides you looking at your own scratch marks, which is not really going to help you that much. So I'll give this perk like a 3, but with Sprint Burst, it's definitely like a 4. For the people. When you are injured and somebody, wait, do they have to be in the dying state? Okay. Yeah. So I think the survivor can be injured or no, injured. Goodness, the person that you want to use for the people on has to be in the dying state. You press the active ability button while they're on the ground. They get uninjured. They get uninjured. They go to the health state, and then you are in the broken status effect for 90 seconds, and then you become the obsession. So this perk is not bad. You can definitely make plays with this perk if you use it right. So this perk is definitely not trash, but it's not the best. I'll give this perk a 3.5. Head On. Now, I like this perk. I use it a lot. This is definitely one of the best perks, or one of the better perks. You get the exhaust shift for 40 seconds after you stun the killer with the lock. You have to be in there for 3 seconds, and you get stunned for 3 seconds. So this is a really good perk. You can make hella plays with this perk. Control the killer with this perk and all that. With Quick and Quiet. Maybe Dance With Me. So this perk is a good 4. It's a really good perk. Hope. I've used this like 3 times in my life. It's actually underrated. I mean, it's not that good, but it's underrated. Now, this perk is definitely good with adrenaline. Oh, 7% haste. Oh wait, yeah. This perk is really good with adrenaline. I mean, even with that adrenaline, it's still really good. But it's just perks you can use that are better than it. Like, you should use adrenaline instead of this perk. Even if you use them as a duo, just run adrenaline. It's way better. Hope. I'm gonna give this perk, like, I know you get a 7% haste for 120 seconds. That's 2 minutes, which is really good. But I'm just gonna give it like a 2.5 because there's way better perks you can use than this. Inner strength. Now, everybody uses this perk a lot. I used to use it 24/7, but I don't run healing perks anymore. But this perk is still really good. You get in the cap after you do a totem, hex totem or dual totem. You get in the cabin. You have 8 seconds, and then you're healed. You can use it quick and quiet. You can use it with head on. You can, yeah, you can troll. Kind of. Maybe just a little bit with this perk. And you get healed after doing a totem. So I'm gonna give this perk a 4 just because it's pretty good. You can heal yourself or just doing a totem. And yeah. Kindred. I used to run this perk all the time. I don't use it anymore because I don't know. I just don't use a lot of perks anymore. I'm about to start though. I'm about to start back using these perks again. Every time you're on the hook, all survivors see the auras of all survivors and the killer for 16 meters. Now, if you run open-handed, it will increase the range to 24 meters. But without open-handed, it just stays at 16 meters. And this is a good perk because if you're running solo survivor and you have no communication, when you're on the hook, you can see the killer. You can see all the survivors. Survivors can see each other. They can see the killer. And it's kind of like y'all are communicating without really communicating. So this is a really good perk. I'll give this perk a 4.5. Leader. Now, this is a good perk. Definitely a team perk. You get a 25% increase to everything within an 8-meter range. And it only can be affected on one person at a time. But for the other survivors, it has a 15-second after leaving effect after each survivor gets out of the 8-meter range. So this perk is pretty good. I'll give this perk a 4. Life. Now, this is my favorite exhaustion perk. I use this all the time. After you fast vault something, you get a 3%. You get a 150% sprint speed boost for 3 seconds, and you get exhausted for 40 seconds. This is a really good perk. I use it all the time. It helps out a lot in chases. Even if you get baited, it helps out a lot. And you vault by accident, it can help there. So this perk is definitely a 4. Lucky break. I barely run this perk, but it's not trash. Anytime you get injured, you won't leave trails of blood for 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes. So this is a really good perk to help you if you don't want to get found that easily in a chase or out of a chase. This is a really good perk with resilience and iron will. And this perk's a good 3.5 because you can use other perks for it too. Medal of the Man, one of my favorite perks in the game. Top 5. Well, top 10. After you take 3 protection hits for other survivors, you get the endurance effect. So after you take your 3 hits, if you get healed fully, you can take a healed hit, you'll beat it injured. Then you can take the endurance hit for Medal of Man. Then you can take another hit, and then you'll get down. So you can take 3 hits until you get down. But if you're injured, you just take 1 endurance hit, and then you die after the 2nd hit after that. But next time you're back to full health after using the endurance hit, the killer gets to, if you're further than 60 meters away, the killer will be able to see you. Oh, whoa, I'm moving too fast. No mither. I ran this perk like 3 times, twice. I don't like this perk. It's not bad though. You don't leave pools of blood. Grunts of pain are reduced by 50% at all times. And you get to, it's basically like Unbreakable, except you get to keep getting yourself back up, and you don't have the 35% boost. So this perk's actually not bad. It's just the fact that you're broken the whole game, and you're hurt, and yeah. So this perk's at 3.5 because of the benefits you get of being hurt. No one left behind. I don't like this perk at all. I've never ran it before. If I did, it was on accident. It's literally just for blood points. When an exit gate, well, when one exit gate is opened, you gain 100% blood points for healing and unhooking, and you get a 50% bonus speed when healing and unhooking survivors. And the auras of all other survivors are revealed to you. This perk isn't trash. It's just that it's not that good. And like I said, you can use perks that are way better than this that will help you more. So this perk is definitely a 2.5 or 3 because you get to see survivors' auras, and yeah. Object of obsession. Sometimes this perk acts weird on me. This is definitely one of those more toxic perks. As a killer obsession, this effect applies. You get to see the killer at a range of 72 meters. And if you're not the killer's obsession, you only get to see him, and you get to see each other for up to 64 meters. And this perk increases your chance of being the obsession, so you'll probably get to 72 meters. But this is definitely a perk you control with. Might get found all the time with it, because you get to see the killer, and he gets to see you. So I'm going to give this perk a 3, just because it can help you out if you're playing Survivor Friends. And yeah. Off the record. Once you are unhooked or you escape off the hook yourself, this perk activates for 80 seconds. Your aura will not be shown to the killer, and grunts of pain by injuries are reduced by 100% for 80 seconds. So that is a minute and 20 seconds, which is really good. So this can help you out a lot with getting tunneled and camped. This perk is definitely not trash, and I give this perk about a 4 because it can really help you out. Pharmacy. You open chests 80% faster, and the killer's hearing distance from you opening the chest is reduced by 8 meters, which is alright. Opening chests 80% faster definitely helps, so you won't be sitting there wasting all your time just to get an item you don't want. And you get a green med kit, the one that has a healing boost speed. The first time you open the chest with this perk, so it's definitely not bad. It can help you out. But if you don't need a med kit opening a chest, then it might be useless. But this perk is not trash. I'll give it a solid 3. Poised. After a generator is completed, you leave no scratch marks for 10 seconds. If you complete the generator, or if somebody else completes the generator, you don't have to complete it yourself. It can be anybody that completes a gen. You just don't leave scratch marks for 10 seconds after that. This is a pretty good perk because if you're in a chase, you can use it. If you're in a chase and somebody completes the gen, this would be good with Adrenaline or Dark Sense. So you get 10 seconds for leaving no scratch marks. This perk is pretty well, it's alright. I'll give this perk 3 because there's better perks you can use still. Premonition. You get a warning when looking in the direction of the killer in a 45-degree cone within a range of 36 meters, and it has a cooldown of 30 seconds each time it activates. So you get to see the killer's aura, I think, because when I use this perk, I got to see the killer's aura. So you get a warning, but I think you also get to see the killer's aura too. So this perk isn't trash because it helps you know if the killer's going to you or if you're going towards the killer. So I give this perk a solid 3.5, but there's way better perks you can use.
How I think they're gonna do, whether I think they're gonna make.
Goodness, people keep joining this party. I had to leave. Alright, prove thyself. Every other survivor working on a generator within a 4-meter range gain 15% repair bonus. This same bonus is also applied to all survivors within the range. Gain 100% more blood points for cooperation actions, and survivors can only be affected by one proof thyself effect at a time. So this perk is pretty good. So if it's three of y'all, or yeah, three of y'all, somebody's on a gen, you two come over, and y'all are hurt. You can, well, one of them could stay on the gen. He'll get a 15% bonus on the generator, so the gen will go back faster. And when you get healed by the other person that was coming with you, he has 15% boost to healing you faster. So this is a pretty good perk. It can help out a lot. And I give this perk like a 3.5, just because it's only for gens. Repressed Alliance. Now, if the killer has pop or something like that, or he tries to kick your gen, or you are almost done with the gen, you can't get it done, and the killer comes behind you, you can press your active ability button, and it will block the generator off for 30 seconds. But you have to be working on, well, you have to be working on any gen, or yeah, for 60 seconds in order to use this perk. But it blocks off the gen for 30 seconds, which isn't bad. It gives you enough time for the killer to get away, or for somebody to get chased away from it. So this perk isn't bad. I give it a 3.5. Simply because, yeah, it's just not the best. So I'll give this a 3.5. Resilience, definitely one of the better perks out there. Definitely underrated as hell. You get 9% bonus to everything. Like literally everything. Repairing, sabotaging, healing, unhooking, cleansing, opening gates, unlocking. Everything. But you have to be injured. You have to be injured for this perk to work. So this will definitely go good with a lot of perks. Like Iron Will. What else? Calm Spirit, Lucky Break, Record, Off the Record. No Mither. Get 9% bonus. The 9% is very underrated, but it actually helps out a lot. So this perk is definitely a 4. Very underrated. Saboteur. Unlocks. Okay, yeah. You get to see hook auras and 56-meter radius if somebody's getting carried by the killer. And it takes 2.5 seconds to sabotage a hook. And you have a 60-second cooldown. So if you're trying to get like a breakout save on a survivor, you can see all the hooks, basically. And then you can get there fast enough and sabotage in 2.5 seconds. And hopefully your teammate wiggles out. Y'all are both good. So this perk is definitely not bad. I'll give it a 4 because it can help you and your teammates out. Second Wind. I run this perk sometimes. It's pretty underrated. If you heal somebody, if you fully heal somebody, it can be you and somebody healing one person. As long as you fully heal somebody, with somebody or not, this perk will work. After you fully heal somebody, and you get hooked, and somebody unhooks you, or you Kobe off the hook, after 30 seconds you will be healed. But you are broken. You have the broken status effect as soon as you get off the hook for 30 seconds, and then you're fully healed. This perk would definitely go good with Autodidact and Solidarity, especially Autodidact, just because you get the faster heals. So this perk is, I'll give it a 3.5 or a 4 in between those two because it's pretty good and underrated. Self-care. Now, I used to run this perk 24/7. I do not like this perk anymore. It takes like 50 fucking years to heal. Now, if you're using a healing item, it increases that heal for 20 seconds. I mean, it increases the healing speed up for 20% if you have a healing item. So, if you're using a med kit, I mean, it might help, but still, if you're just sitting there in the corner of the map self-caring, it's gonna take like a long time. I forgot how many seconds it takes exactly. I think it's like 30 or something like that to fully heal yourself with self-care. But this perk just wastes a whole bunch of time. Even though you can heal yourself if you need to, it just wastes a whole bunch of time. You could be doing gens or unhooking and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give this perk a 3. Soul Survivor. This perk, it's not that good. killer can't read your aura within 24 meters. So if he has Nurse's Calling, which goes up to 28 meters, it's still gonna outbeat this perk because 28 meters is larger than 24. So you still have that 4 extra meter range he can see you within. And besides that, this perk really isn't that good. It's just a waste. But it only works when people on your team are dead, and I didn't even know that. It only works when people on your team are dead. So this perk is definitely a waste, and I'm gonna give it a 1. Soul Guard. I run this perk a lot. It's definitely underrated as hell. After you get healed off the ground, like if you get yourself off the ground from Unbreakable, or your teammate comes over to you and gets you off, or gets you up off the ground, this perk activates for 8 seconds. You have the endurance effect. You can take hits, and you have 20 seconds to mend yourself. So this perk is definitely good. I'll give it a 4 because it's very underrated and it can help out a lot in the game. I wish I could show y'all a clip of how many times this perk has helped me out, but I can't. Spine Chill. Within the 36 meter range of the killer, if you're looking at him, well, you get a notification, or the perk shows up being used if you're looking at the killer in the 36 meter range. And while you're looking at the killer in that range, you get a 10% increase to everything. Wait, no. You get a 6%, I think. While Spine Chill is active, skill check trigger odds are increased by 10. Oh, okay, so you get 6% boost to everything while this perk is being activated. It can definitely help out if you're trying to finish a gen that has like a little bit of progress left and the killer's coming towards you. So I'll give this perk a 4. Because it also tells you, or it helps you out knowing if the killer's near you or coming to you or not. Sprint Burst. Y'all know I love to run this perk all the time. You get 150% speed boost for 3 seconds. I thought it was 5 seconds for this perk because like it lasts mad long, but it's only for 3 seconds, and you get it just for 40 seconds. So this perk definitely can help you out if the killer's about to hit you and you just run in his face. But I would request not doing that in front of a Bubba though, because that's never gonna work against a Bubba. But against other killers, yeah, this perk's really good, and it can help you out, help you get to somebody faster, helps you get to a gate faster, or something like that. So this perk is a 4. Stack out or stake out, shit. To be honest, I don't like this perk. I hate this perk. It's pretty trash. You get 4 tokens when you're sitting in the killer's terror radius. Each 15 seconds you're sitting in the killer's terror radius and you're not getting chased. You get 4 tokens, and for each token, if you're on a gen, you get a 1% bonus to gen repair progress, which is terrible. 1%. I'd rather run resilience than this perk. You should use a toolbox. You should not ever use stakeout. This perk is terrible. It is definitely a 1. It's horrible. Streetwise, I don't like this perk either. The reduced consumption rate of item charges are reduced by 25% for you and your allies if you're in an 8 meter range as anybody. Out of this range, the perk will last for 15 seconds after that. Perk really isn't that good. You can just run built to last, and this perk's like a 1 also. This is not happening. I don't like this perk either. It's pretty bad. Perk isn't good at all. Great skill checks, zones, repairing. Oh wait, no, this is not happening. Your great skill check success zones when you're healing or sabotaging are 30% bigger when you're injured. So you have to be injured. So this perk would be good with resilience. But I mean, hitting the great skill checks, it doesn't give you an extra bonus for hitting it. So I mean, this perk really isn't that good. It's also very useless. You can use other perks that are definitely way better than this. This perk is also a 1.5. Unbreakable, you already know, top 2 best perks in the game. Definitely. You know, when you're on the ground, you have 1 time that you can get yourself up by yourself, and you have a 35% increase to recovery speed when you're in the dying state. So you can definitely get yourself fully healed, fully to find help fast if you already used it once. 35% increase. This perk is definitely a 5. Top 2 best perk in the game. Up the ante. Um, I don't like this perk at all, to be honest with you. You get a 3% bonus to luck of all remaining survivors. And that's for each survivor that's still alive. This perk is definitely useless. 3% bonus to luck. So basically it increases, because luck in this game is getting yourself off the hook. So it increases your chance from 4% to getting yourself off the hook to 7% to getting yourself off the hook. So it's not that good. This perk is useless. This perk is a 1. Urban Evasion. This perk is good. I don't use it that much anymore, but it's good. Your moving speed while crouched is 100% faster. It's definitely a stealth perk. It can help you out in stealth. Help you out while you're using what's that rock throwing perk? Diversion. You can use it for diversion. A lot of perks like that. Help yourself not get seen by crouching faster, and it works when you're hurt and not hurt. So yeah, this perk is a 4. Vigil. I don't like this perk at all. 8-meter range. You recover from the exhausted, hemorrhag, mangled, and hindered, and blindness status effect for 20% faster. Out of this range, it works for 15 seconds. After one of you or your teammate leaves the 8-meter range, this kind of relates to Streetwise. It's not that good. This perk is a 1.5. Will make it. This perk's underrated. I don't run it. I used to not like it, but this perk is underrated. You get a 100% speed increase while healing other survivors for 1 minute and 30 seconds after you unhook somebody. So this perk definitely could help you against a killer that's running perks for to slow down healing, or if you just need to heal real quick and get on a gen again. This perk is a 4. Any means necessary. When a pallet is thrown down and not broken, you hold the active ability button for 4 seconds, and you can reset the pallet to its upright position when it was dropped. And it has a cooldown of 2 minutes now. Well, yeah. In a couple of weeks, they're about to have this buff for some of the perks, Survivor and Killer, and this perk's gonna go down to 1 minute. But right now it's at 2 minutes, so you have to wait 2 minutes to do it again. You can use this perk with, like, if you're trolling with 2 people at Killer Shack, you can use this perk. So I'll give this perk a good 3, just because 120 seconds is kind of like a long time to wait just to reset a pallet, especially if the killer breaks pallets right away. Babysitter. When you unhook a survivor and he leaves no scratch marks for the next 8 seconds, and y'all both see, well, you and the killer get to see each other for 4 seconds. So this perk is definitely not the best. I don't really like it that much, and I gave it a 3 just because you get to see the killer's aura, and you don't leave bloodshed for 8 seconds, which really isn't that helpful at all. Balance landing. This is a good perk. You get 150% running speed bonus for 3 seconds once you fall off of something. Like if you're on a building and you fall down, or if you're on a little rock hill and you fall down, you get a boost for 3 seconds. And you get the exhaustive status effect for 40 seconds. This perk is good, but sometimes there's maps that have nowhere you can like drop off and use this perk for. So I'm gonna give this perk a 3.5 just because of some of the maps. Embedded together. The orb generator you are currently repairing is revealed to all others within a 32-meter range. And if the killer downs a survivor while you are repairing a gen, you see the aura of all the survivors for 10 seconds. This perk can help you out and your teammates. It's kind of like one of those Kindred type perks where it kind of communicates with your team for you. So this perk is like a good 3.5 just because it helps you and your team. Blood Pact. They're buffing this perk in a couple of weeks, and it's about to be way better. Like, this perk is getting a huge buff in a couple of weeks. It's gonna be way better. It's probably gonna be like a 4 in a couple of weeks when they buff it. But right now, you get a 7% haste effect for 10 seconds after you heal somebody, or if they heal you. Wait, no, after you heal the obsession, or if the obsession heals you for 10 seconds, you get 7% haste effect. This perk isn't that good. There's perks for haste that are way better than this one. This one isn't good. Don't use it right now until they buff it. But right now, this perk is a 2. It's horrible. Well, no, it's a 1. Bond. This perk, you get to see, you get to see your teammates with Bond within a 36-meter range. This is a good perk. It helps you see your team, injured or not. 36-meter range. This perk is a 4. Kind of communicates. Well, not really. Didn't really communicate, but you get to see your teammates if you're running solo survivor. This is really good for solo survivor and solo survivor friends. So doesn't matter. Either one's still a good perk. It's a 4. Breakdown. This perk is not really that good. I mean, if you're getting tunneled and camped, then it's pretty good. Well, it's decent. But after you get unhooked, the hook breaks, and it takes 3 minutes for it to respawn. So it takes 3 minutes for the hook to respawn that you're on, but most likely there's going to be another hook near you or something like that, where the killer can easily pick you up and just bring it to that hook. So it's perk isn't that good. I'll give it a 2. Diversion. This perk works really good with urban evasion. While you're in the killer's terror radius for 45 seconds, not in the chase. I think it doesn't matter if you're in a chase, because like I was using this perk and I was in a chase and it was still going down, so I don't think it matters if you're in a chase or not. You can press the activability button while you're crouched. You have to be crouched and emotionless to throw a pebble, which creates a distraction from the killer at a distance of 20 meters. So wherever you are when you throw it to, it's going to be 20-meter difference, which is pretty good. It triggers a loud noise for the killer, and it triggers scratch marks for the killer. But they're all fake, but it helps a lot. So I'll give this perk a good 3.5, just because it can really help you out, but sometimes it will fuck you up. Empathy. You have an unlimited range of seeing dying and injured allies, and it doesn't reveal auras of allies when they are in direct contact with the killer. This perk's okay. It's not the worst, not the best. I'll give it a solid 3. Flip flop. 50% of your recovery progression is covered in a wiggle progression when you are picked up for the killer, and up to 50% of your recovery progression is put into your total wiggle progression. So this perk can help you wiggle out like quicker. And yeah, it could sometimes help you out. Sometimes if the killer picks you up right away, then it's not gonna help at all. But if he leaves you on the ground slugged, it can help. So this perk is a solid 3. Iron Will, definitely a top 10 perk in the game. When you're injured at all times, grunts of pain are reduced by 100% at all times. This perk is really good. It goes well with resilience and lucky break. This perk is a 4. It helps out a lot. Left behind. When you are the last survivor in the trial, you can see the aura within the hatch at 32 meters. This perk is pretty good. I mean, no. It's not the best. It's not really that good, because like, it's kind of like if you die before you're the last one, this perk is really useless, and you brought it for no reason. So unless you survive last every game, or you just want to be selfish, put this perk on. But if you're not by yourself at the end of the game, every game, then it's not going to be that good. This perk is a 2. Lightweight. I don't like this perk. I don't use it. Your scratch marks are 3 seconds less visible. I mean, your scratch marks stay visible for 3 less seconds than normal. This perk really isn't that good because the killer can just see you. He doesn't really have to see your scratch marks. So sometimes it depends on what map you're on, but he can probably just see you, he or she. So this perk isn't that good. I give it a 1.5. Slender's Instinct. This perk is terrible. It's a 1. You get to see chests within a 32-meter range, and it grants a considerably better chance of finding a item higher than rarity from chests. So it's honestly not that good. I'm giving it a 1.5. Quick and quiet. You can use this with perks, exhaustion perks, like life and head on that you can make plays with them. The vault, hide, actions, noise detection, and aura range is reduced by 100%, and you can use this perk every 20 seconds. Or it can only be triggered once every 20 seconds. So this perk getting bad, 3.5. Red herring. After repairing a generator for 3 seconds, it will be highlighted to you for the yellow aura. The generator stays highlighted until it is fully repaired, or you repair a new generator or enter a locker. Entering any locker will trigger a loud noise for the killer at the highlighted generator location. The perk is not really that good. I'm gonna give it a 2. Doesn't really do that much for you. Slippery meat. This perk's about to get buffed. It's about to have a good buff in a couple of weeks. So it grants you up to 3 extra escape attempts on the hook, and the odds of freeing yourself from a bear trap by a trapper is increased by 25%. So this perk's still not really that great. Doesn't give you a percent increase to unhooking yourself or coping off the hook. This perk is not good. I'm giving it a 2. No, I'm giving it a 1. Small game. Oh yeah, if you're looking at a trap or a totem in a 45-degree cone within a range of 12 meters, you get this notification, or the perk activates and you know that you're looking at it, and it has a cooldown of 2 seconds each time it activates. So yeah, it can kind of help you. No, I mean, it's not really that good either. I'm giving this perk a 1. It's pretty bad. There's perks way better than this. Yeah. Solidarity. I like this perk. While you're injured, healing a survivor without using a medkit also heals you at a 50% conversion rate. So this would go good with autodidact and second one, like I said earlier. Pretty good. If you get like 2 heals or 1, you will be fully healed by just healing somebody. Simply because of this perk. It's really good. Technician, I don't like this perk that much. Even if you're doing a generator solo, it reduces the hearing, the noise of your generator by 8 seconds. By 8 meters. And on a failed repair skill check, there's a 50% chance the generator explosion will be prevented. This perk is about to get buffed in a couple of weeks. Still not gonna be that good. And right now, I'm rating this perk a 2. No, a 1. It's not that good. Tenacity. This perk is pretty good. You crawl 50% faster, and you can recover at the same time you're crawling. This perk goes good with flip-flop, unbreakable, soul guard, all that good stuff. This perk is okay. I'll give it a 3.5. Visionary. You see generators auras within 32 meters. Anytime a generator is completed, Visionary is disabled for 16 seconds. This perk is okay, because sometimes there's maps where it's hard to see generators, so this perk is a good 3, a solid 3. Wake up when exit gates are revealed. Oh, exit gates are revealed to you within 128 meter range. While opening gates, I just got kicked out the lobby while I'm doing a video. I love this. Like, come on, man. Like, how? Why did I just get kicked out for it? While opening exit gates, reveal your aura to other survivors up to 128 meters, which is really good. And while wake up is active, you open gates 15% faster. This perk really isn't that good. You might not make it to the end game every game, so this perk is a 2. Or a 1.5, one of them. Windows of opportunity. A couple of months ago, I used to use this perk a lot. I used to say it was underrated and all that. Turns out it's really not that good. I mean, you should be able to see windows in pallets, or just know the spawns of them. You get to see windows and pallets within a 20-meter range, and every time you wait. Oh yeah, and it has a cooldown of 20 seconds every time you vault or drop a pallet during a chase. So this perk is alright. Helps sometimes on some maps. So I'll give this perk a solid 3. Now I'm about to go to the 2 perks that I do not have, or 2 or 3. Okay. Open-handed. Um, strength. It increases the aura of any perk that you or your teammates have. It increases the aura of 8 meters once you have it on tier 3. So this perk isn't bad. It goes really good with Kindred. It goes really good with some other perks for aura reading, and it works for you and your teammates. So this perk is definitely pretty good, and I'll give it a 3.5, almost a 4. Wait, where are all the perks I don't have? I know I'm missing some, right? I'm not missing. I'm only missing one perk. Oh wait, nope. We're gonna live forever. All right, so we're gonna live forever. I don't like this perk. It's about to get buffed in a couple of weeks. It's about to be better. Um, each time you perform a safe hug rescue or take a hit, metal man or not, you gain a 25% stackable bonus to all blood points gains and up to a maximum of 50%. The bonus blood points are only awarded post-trial. This perk really isn't good. I mean, perks for blood points really aren't that good. You should bring perks that should help you and your team out. This perk isn't good like that. Just grants you extra blood points. And this is a 1. Yeah. Well, y'all, there's the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hope y'all enjoyed. Put down in the comments if I rated a perk too high, too low. Tell me what you think about some of the perks. And yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification when I go live or when I post a new video. I'm probably gonna stream later today. Hope y'all enjoyed, and that's the end of the video.